Max Verstappen's garage is filled with cars that make most car collectors drool, but here's the twist. Some of them are even faster than his F1 car. We're talking about hypercars that cost more than some people's homes and classics that still outpace most modern cars. Why does a race legend like Max need all these machines? The answer might surprise you. Let's take a peek inside Max's jaw-dropping collection and find out how these cars helped shape his journey to greatness. Red Bull RB18. A 17-year-old lined up on a Formula One grid for the first time ever. Most teenagers were learning to drive on normal streets, but Max Verstappen was about to brake from over 300 kilometers an hour into turn 1 right next to world champions. Could you imagine the pressure? Every decision at that speed is immediate. Every error is costly. Max climbed into the Toro Rosso STR10, a car packing around 850 horsepower powered by Ferrari. It had no forgiveness. Full F1 aerodynamics, brutal acceleration, razor-sharp response. One misjudgment and the wall arrives instantly. There's no safety net, no training wheels, no margin for error. Most drivers spend years learning how to survive in this environment, but Max had to do it from the start. And yet he thrived. In Malaysia, he finished 7th, Hungary 4th. Not luck, not coincidence. These were controlled, precise drives. Every braking point, every throttle input, every corner taken was exact. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko saw the telemetry and said, "Max is something special. That wasn't hype, that was data confirming raw talent." Spain, May 2016 changed everything. First race with Red Bull. First lap, both Mercedes crash. Suddenly, an 18-year-old leads the Grand Prix. Behind him, Kimi Raikkonen stalks for 44 laps hunting for one small mistake. It never comes. Max holds the pace, defends every inch, and crosses the finish line. He becomes the youngest race winner in F1 history. One teenager had rewritten the rules of what was possible. The FIA reacted quickly, setting a minimum age of 18 for future drivers. One young driver had forced a rule change. But survival in the STR10 was only the start. The car taught him how to measure risk, control chaos, and make fearless decisions at impossible speeds. Surviving is one thing, dominating is another. The STR10 honed his instincts, but the next machine in his career would transform instinct into absolute authority, precision into unshakable control, and raw talent into a season of uncontested dominance. When that car appears, everything he learned in the STR10 becomes the foundation for something far more powerful. Bugatti Chiron. The Bugatti Chiron makes 1,500 horsepower. That's not an estimate, that's real. Press the pedal and the force hits instantly. 0 to 60 miles per hour takes under 2.5 seconds. That's not acceleration, that's being launched. Could a car feel any more alive? It replaced the Veyron in 2016 and carries a price tag above $3 million. But it isn't just about the money. Most supercars force you to choose comfort or speed. Chiron refuses. Step inside and it's calm, quiet, polished, precise. The cabin feels almost fragile compared to the chaos outside. Outside, it's a machine electronically limited to 261 miles per hour, yet it feels like it could go further if you dared. How can a car balance comfort and absolute power at the same time? Bugatti calls it the ultimate super sports car. That sounds dramatic, but this isn't marketing fluff. Few production cars even attempt a 16-cylinder engine. Fewer still tame it into a road car you can actually drive. Every system is engineered for peak performance, but it doesn't punish the driver for taking the long way home. That balance is rare. That balance makes you wonder, what happens when rules aren't holding a car back? For Max Verstappen, who drives highly regulated Formula One machines every weekend, the Chiron represents freedom. No fuel limits, no technical directives, no telemetry telling him what to do. just raw engineering waiting for the driver to decide how far to push it. It's a taste of the unfiltered power, something few people ever experience outside a racetrack. Could a road car ever feel like an F1 car? The Chiron comes close. And yet, even this car isn't the most extreme in his garage. There's another machine that transfers Formula One DNA directly onto the street. It doesn't just deliver speed, it brings precision, chaos, and control into a single package you can actually drive every day. If the Chiron is shocking, the next car redefines what a street-legal car can do. It makes everything else feel like a warm-up. Ferrari LaFerrari. The Ferrari LaFerrari makes 950 horsepower. That's not an exaggeration, and only 499 were ever built. That tells you everything. This car was never meant to be ordinary. Every detail screams exclusivity. Every number screams extreme performance. The heart is a naturally aspirated 6.3-liter V12 tucked right behind the seats. Pair it with an electric motor using Ferrari's Hypercars system, inspired directly by Formula One energy recovery, and you get something astonishing. The V12 roars, the electric motor fills every gap, and together they produce acceleration like a jet taking off from your spine. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Top speed beyond 220 miles per hour. Those are just numbers, but the experience is endless thrust. There is no pause, no lag. Every inch of forward motion is continuous. Have you ever felt a car pull you forward before you even realized you pushed the pedal? Ferrari chairman Luca di Montezemolo called it the maximum expression of the company. That wasn't marketing. Ferrari only builds halo cars rarely, and each one represents a shift in engineering philosophy. The LaFerrari isn't just a car, it's a statement of what's possible when legacy meets innovation. For Max Verstappen, who races hybrid Formula One machines every weekend, the LaFerrari translates track science into street life. Energy recovery, torque deployment, and controlled aggression, every system feels alive under his hands. It's like driving a hybrid F1 car without leaving the pavement. The roar of the V12 blends with the near-silent electric thrust. Old world and new world collide. The result? A car that surprises every time you push it, never letting you forget how advanced it really is. And yet, the LaFerrari represents only one extreme in Max's collection. It is peak modern engineering, a fusion of raw combustion and electric intelligence. But the next car in his garage goes the other way. It strips back all electronics, all hybrid magic, all intervention to pure mechanical perfection. The kind of car where every gear change, every downshift, and every press of the throttle relies entirely on human skill. If the LaFerrari is science on wheels, the next car is instinct on steroids. Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7. Porsche planned 500 units of the 911 Carrera RS 2.7 in 1973, but demand exploded and production shot past 1,500 cars. That's how legends begin. One car becomes a symbol, not because of hype, but because it pushes the boundaries of engineering and driver skill. Under the rear lids, it's a 2.7-liter flat six, producing about 210 horsepower. By today's standards, that sounds modest. Back then, combined with a curb weight around 1,075 kilograms, it felt explosive. Every input was immediate. Turn the wheel, press the throttle, tap the brakes. The car responded like it was wired to your hands. There was no lag, no cushion, just pure connection between driver and machine. Then there's the famous ducktail spoiler. Not decoration. It improved high-speed stability and became one of Porsche's most iconic design cues. This wasn't just style. This was homologation engineering, built so the Carrera RS could go racing straight from the factory. Every detail had purpose, every shape had function. The car demanded respect at speed. There were no electronic aids, no traction control, no selectable driving modes. Racing legend Walter Röhrl said early 911s reward precision. Translation? If you make a mistake, the car makes sure you notice immediately. Every corner, every gear change, and every throttle input required attention. This was a machine built to sharpen instincts, to teach patience and precision at the highest level. Imagine stepping out of a modern, data-loaded cockpit and into this analog masterpiece. No telemetry, no digital feedback, just balance, bravery, and mechanical honesty. It's addictive. 1 second of hesitation and the car reminds you that it's alive. Lightweight, rear-engine layout, and razor-sharp steering make it feel faster than the numbers suggest. And while German engineering focused on precision and control, the next car takes a completely different approach. It prioritizes beauty and emotion over raw feedback. Where the 911 teaches respect for mechanics, the next machine teaches the power of sheer presence. Its form stops traffic, and its performance feels sculpted. You think you know what a car can do, and then it bends every expectation. Jaguar E-Type Series 1. In 1961, Jaguar stunned the world at the Geneva Motor Show. The E-Type Series 1 carried a 3.8-liter straight six with around 265 horsepower, but the engine wasn't the first thing people noticed. The car looked like it belonged in an art museum, not a showroom. Could a car ever feel like both sculpture and machine? Top speed approached 150 miles per hour, which was serious for the early 1960s. But the numbers only tell part of the story. The long bonnet stretched endlessly forward, the headlights hid under glass, and the body curved like it was shaped by wind itself. Even Enzo Ferrari reportedly called it the most beautiful car ever made. When Ferrari praises a design, the world pays attention. This was more than looks, it was engineering wrapped in beauty. The E-Type borrowed lessons from Le Mans winning race cars. Race-bred suspension, precise balance, and serious straight-line pace made it extraordinary. And the price? Far lower than Italian exotics. Overnight, Jaguar rewrote expectations. People saw a car that looked delicate but drove like a racing machine. Every curve, every line, every mechanical choice had purpose. Driving it feels raw and alive. Steering has weight. Gear changes demand attention. There are no electronics, no traction control, no safety nets. Every input matters. Every corner tests your skill. Every acceleration reminds you that the car responds directly to your hands. This is analog driving at its purest. Could a modern driver handle this without respect for the road? The E-Type isn't just about speed or style. It represents a moment when engineering, beauty, and performance collided perfectly. The car inspires awe without exaggeration. It teaches respect, focus, and joy with every mile. Elegance alone can't define a garage. The next car hides extreme power behind calm restraint. It changes everything the E-Type sets up. Where the E-Type teaches finesse and admiration, the next machine demands attention, control, and a different kind of skill. One glance at it shifts your expectation of speed, precision, and drama. The contrast is striking, and the next story is impossible to ignore. Aston Martin V8 Vantage. The Aston Martin V8 Vantage launched in 2005 with a 4.0-liter V8 putting out 380 horsepower. It hits 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. That's fast enough to feel serious, but not so extreme that it punishes the driver. You might ask yourself, why pick this over something bigger, louder, or more explosive? Step inside and the hand-stitched leather hits you first. It's soft but taut, almost alive. The car feels like it knows exactly what it wants. Your hands, your body, your focus, it all aligns. Step back and the exterior shows clean, confident lines. There's elegance in its shape, restraint in its design, but you can see the muscle hiding beneath. Press the throttle and the engine growls low and serious. It doesn't scream for attention. Instead, it lets you discover it slowly, deliberately. You feel every vibration through your chest, through your hands, your tires gripping the road. The brilliance of the V8 Vantage lies in its balance. Most cars swing to extremes, either wild, uncontrollable beasts or soft, easygoing cruisers. This one sits in the sweet spot. Push it on the street and it rewards precision. Take it to a track and it rewards courage. Every gear change, every corner, every throttle input feels meaningful. It teaches respect without intimidation. It's exciting, but it's also reliable. It's the car that can handle everything you throw at it without complaint. But there's a subtle truth here. Sometimes balance feels safe. Sometimes you want annoying attention. A car that announces itself before you even touch the key. That's when the next car in the garage enters. One that grabs eyes and ears instantly. The kind of car people remember before they even know the numbers. It's bigger, bolder, louder. And it's not just fast. It redefines how speed feels, changing expectations about acceleration, sound, and presence. That was just the beginning. You won't believe what's coming up next. Click the next video to see even crazier collections and hidden gems in the world of cars.